Hello everyone and welcome back to Ruby Tarot. Thank you so much for always following and supporting this channel. The moment you come across this video is the perfect time for you to receive its message. On this channel, I consistently share messages about the events that are about to unfold in your life. When you open your heart and trust in positive energies, you are also aligning yourself with a parallel world where your wishes have already come true. Today, through this tarot reading, I hope to help you unlock the possibilities of your future and support you on your journey to embrace love and manifest your heart's desires. The theme of today's reading is messages from your spirit guides regarding your relationships. I've drawn 3 cards corresponding to Pile 1, Pile 2, and Pile 3. Please listen to your intuition and choose the pile you feel most drawn to, then click the timestamp in the description box to jump straight to your reading. Now, let's begin the session with those of you who have already made your choice. Hello, Pile 1. Thank you for waiting. Now, I'll begin the reading for those of you who chose this pile. I hope this reading brings you healing, fresh insights, and moments filled with love. Today, I've received a message from your spirit guides regarding your relationships. And the very first thing that appeared, what stood out so clearly from the start, is the beauty of your personality. A gentle, warm soul filled with kindness and purity. That's what I feel from you. Alongside that, the energy also speaks clearly of your sensitivity and refined perception. I believe this isn't something that just recently emerged. It likely dates back to your early years, possibly even your childhood. You've probably always had a strong sense of intuition. From a young age, you may have unconsciously picked up on the energy around you, the atmosphere, people's facial expressions, and their emotional states. And because you possess such a sincere and loving heart, each time you sense something from your surroundings, you would instinctively think, how should I respond in this situation? Perhaps you've always been that type of person, someone who considers things carefully and is deeply attuned to others' emotions, even as a child. That energy is coming through to me very vividly. Truly, the strongest impression coming through in this reading is that you are an incredibly gentle and kind-hearted person. Now, as we look into both your present and your past, the next striking message revealed by the cards is that someone once hurt you, deeply and unmistakably. From the very first card, the energy of pain emerged. It carries the image of betrayal, and what stands out most vividly to me this time is the sense of coldness. A chill so intense, it's as if this person reached out their hand, but what they offered you is nothing but a block of ice. So cold that it felt like your hand was pressed directly against snow and ice. The sensation is so palpable that even I can feel the sting and numbness of that emotional frost coming through the image on the card. Because of this, the painful experiences you went through, thoughtless words, distant behavior, even betrayal, seem to have left a deep imprint on your heart. The energy in this reading clearly reflects the emotional wounds you've endured. It's possible you were hurt by someone's inhumanity, by their indifference and icy detachment. And I can feel that those things truly wounded you. Right after the card that symbolizes pain comes the 2 of Pentacles, and it gives me the sense that after being hurt, you tried your very best to maintain balance, to keep things from falling apart, to avoid disturbing your surroundings. You didn't walk away or cut ties immediately. Instead, you held back your emotions, adjusted your inner world, and tried to keep everything from spinning out of control. I can feel how hard you worked to preserve harmony, even while your heart was being torn in 2. It's possible that the person who caused you pain was someone you deeply trusted, or that the relationship once held a lot of promise and positivity. That's why, when things started to fall apart, it wasn't easy for you to let go. It seems that even after being hurt, you kept trying to preserve the connection through patience and emotional balance, and that, too, speaks volumes about your sincerity. What I also feel strongly is that behind all of that effort was a heart that constantly thought of others. As if you once told yourself, if I just endure a little longer, maybe things won't get any worse. You chose to hold on to the relationship by suppressing your own emotions. But every time you did that, you had to sacrifice a piece of your heart. Bit by bit, your heart was worn down. This reading clearly shows me that you endured, that you held back, not just once, but over and over again. Perhaps on quiet nights, when you were alone with nothing but your own thoughts, you've asked yourself, why me? Why do I have to go through this? I sense that you may have lived through many such moments of solitude, silently swallowing sadness that you didn't know how to share with anyone. I can feel your sincerity so vividly, as if it's flowing through every card in this reading. When you give your heart fully and treat someone with genuine kindness, what you often receive in return is coldness. It's possible that some people in your life have taken advantage of that. Some may have taken advantage of your position, or even of who you are as a person, and you've had to endure the feeling of being used, of being treated like a tool, a means to someone else's end. Perhaps this is the very wound you carry inside, or if not right now, then it is something from your past that left a deep mark, one that perhaps hasn't fully healed. It may still cause you, from time to question your own worth. The first card in this reading was truly cold, so cold that the chills seemed to seep all the way inside. It's as if you've always placed yourself last, always thinking, as long as I can endure, it'll be okay. You've been patient. You've stepped back so as not to disturb anyone, so that everything could stay in peace. But in doing so, you became the one who was hurt the most. And yet, what moves me deeply is this: your spirit guides, they have always been watching over you. They have seen everything you've been through. Not a single moment has escaped their notice. And now, they're sending you a very clear message: your kindness, your sincerity, your gentle nature. These are not things you should ever feel ashamed of or exhausted by giving. On the contrary, they are the inherent beauty of your soul, the most precious, wonderful parts of who you are. What's truly unfortunate is that the people around you at that time were not mature enough to receive those gifts in the way they deserved. They were not yet wise enough, deep enough, to recognize the inner beauty you carry, to truly value the love and sincerity you gave so freely. Yes, it was those around you who failed to understand you. It was your environment and those circumstances that caused you pain. So no, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't because you were too sensitive. It wasn't because you were too patient or too restrained. These qualities are not flaws. The truth is, the people around you simply didn't have the capacity to see, to understand, or to appreciate the most beautiful parts of you. They weren't deep enough to feel your heart, and because of that, you were hurt. But the fault does not lie with you. This is what your spirit guides are emphasizing. They want you to truly understand this. They have always been watching over you. They have witnessed every step you've taken, every pain you've endured. And now, as we turn toward the future, your spirit guides are sending you a signal of hope. The opal card has appeared, the stone that symbolizes honor and dignity. It speaks clearly of the image of you in the days ahead, someone who is gradually walking with confidence and pride in who they are. You are being guided toward a state where you can stand tall and truly feel, I am someone of worth. I deserve to be respected. And the final outcome card, the sun, radiates positivity and light. You are moving toward that brightness. The reason I want to emphasize this is because the card at the very bottom of the deck, the hidden card, was the rider. The rider appeared alongside the symbol of the clouds, and behind those clouds was the key. Perhaps for a long time, your goodness has been shrouded by a heavy layer of clouds, clouds made of pain, misunderstanding, and unreciprocated kindness. But now, the key has emerged, bringing the message that everything you've lived through, everything you've given, everything you've endured, none of it was meaningless. It hasn't disappeared. It was only temporarily hidden beneath those clouds. And now, the skies are beginning to clear. All that you've done out of love and sincerity is slowly being returned to you in the most deserved and beautiful way. Once again, your spirit guides send this message. We are always here. We always see you. Even someone as gentle as you has surely had moments when you had to grit your teeth and endure in silence, through pain, through sorrow. I can feel those stifled emotions so clearly, the times when exhaustion overwhelmed you. There were nights when you cried until you had no more strength, finally drifting off to sleep only as dawn approached, after hours lost in tears and heartbreak. But even in those darkest moments, your spirit guides were there. They never left your side. They watched over you and wrapped your soul in their protection. They understand you deeply, not in passing, but with a profound knowing that comes from having followed your journey for a very long time, perhaps even from past lives, from lifetimes so distant that you no longer remember. There is a powerful, ancient bond between you and the spirit guide present in this reading. Their energy makes it clear. This is a soul that has accompanied you through many lifetimes. They don't just see who you are now. They understand the wounds that have accumulated through time, the unspoken pain buried deep within you. Though they cannot speak with words as humans do, because they are spirit, they have always felt your suffering. They've felt the ache, the injustice, the loneliness that pierced your heart. And through it all, they've been silently praying for you not to collapse, for your heart not to shatter completely, for you to continue living and walking forward with a gentle spirit that is so beautifully yours. Now, With the appearance of the Key and the Sun cards, a new chapter is unfolding. And the beautiful thing that's about to happen is this: the hidden talents within you, those that have long been dormant, are beginning to awaken. You are about to enter a phase in which the light inside you will be stirred, revealed, and shared. Things you never believed you could do before will slowly become reality. Then comes the Card of Honor. This reveals that in the future, you will encounter experiences that help you reclaim your confidence and recognize your own worth. Something will happen that allows you to genuinely feel, yes, I am someone with dignity. I deserve to be acknowledged. The painful memories, the regret, the self-reproach from the past, they will no longer hold power over you. In their place will be moments that remind you you have every right to be proud of who you are. Perhaps beyond the sadness and pain, you've also had quiet conversations with yourself, as if a part of your mind has always whispered, I want to become this kind of person. I want to live in that kind of world. Those unspoken reflections, those visions of a better version of yourself, they never disappeared. And your spirit guides have heard them all. Now they're telling you, the light is beginning to shine on those very dreams. It's time to step into the phase where the longings buried deep in your heart will begin to take form. Looking at the overall reading, one thing is strikingly clear. You've always been the one who carries the weight, the one on the receiving end in relationships. Not someone who resists or pushes back, not the type to get angry easily or retaliate. You've often been the one who endures in silence, who tries to understand, who quietly listens without saying a word. And perhaps because of that, you've cried many times, alone in silence. But you know what? Light is shining into that very place. The Cup card shows a beam of light pouring down, as if to affirm, those quiet tears you once shed, they were never overlooked. Not only have your spirit guides been watching over you, but higher beings such as angels and elevated souls have also been observing and protecting you. They see the sincerity in your heart, the delicate sensitivity that is also your strength. And it is precisely because of these qualities that light is beginning to find its way to you. You are not alone, and everything you've ever held in silence is now beginning to receive a response. Within you lies a quiet strength, a profound inner power that even you may not have fully recognized. Now, the light is beginning to shine on that strength, awakening the talents and intuition still resting within you. From this moment on, things will begin to shift. Small yet meaningful successes will start to unfold in your life. And through those experiences, you'll begin to realize, so I really can do this. You will gradually elevate yourself, not through pressure, but through inner liberation. Your heart will heal. Your soul will be set free. Along with this, you will begin to remember the strength that has always been yours. The inner power that was once hidden beneath layers of pain is now returning to you. And in time, people will appear around you who truly need the light and gifts you carry. When that moment comes, you will no longer be the one who is always hurt or forgotten. You will become someone who is cherished, someone surrounded by love. Not only in the spiritual realm, where your spirit guides are ever present, but also in the physical world. You will be loved in the way you've always deserved. Even spirit animals like the crow carry the energy of sacred observation, as if the entire spiritual world is watching over your journey. And then, a card with powerful energy has appeared. Resurrection, rebirth. All the pain, regret, and sorrow you've carried for so long is nearing its end. That chapter is gradually closing. Those who once treated you carelessly, who threw cold, thoughtless words your way, they, too, will have to face their awakening. At a certain point, they will be forced to see it all for what it is. The truth will come to light, and the light of justice will find its way to you. As for those who once treated you poorly, perhaps at the time, they were seen as the stronger ones, appearing more dominant, or possessing some kind of advantage that made you feel small. But eventually, they too will undergo their awakening. When that moment comes, they will look back and remember you, and realize just how deeply they hurt you. It might take a very long time for that understanding to surface. But when it does, they will finally grasp the meaning behind the gentleness and kindness you once gave so selflessly. And yet, by the time they understand, it may already be too late. Some things only reveal their true value once they're lost. And sadly, when that realization comes too late, there is no way to return to what once was. From an objective perspective, I feel this truth very clearly. And what I want to emphasize most is this. The pain, the hurt you're enduring now, it is truly nearing its end. A painful chapter is reaching its close. Within you, I see a depth of emotion, and once again, that quiet strength. I've mentioned it before, but now it appears more clearly than ever. That strength has been silently growing inside you all along, like a tree sinking its roots deep into the earth, slowly, steadily, without show, but with unwavering resilience. The cards reveal that this is the moment when past choices begin to take root, and their outcomes will slowly unfold in the future. Every decision you've made, the times you chose not to retaliate, not to abandon your kindness, not to let bitterness reshape your heart, these are now giving rise to a new journey, one in which the light will guide your path. I have to say it, it's truly beautiful, truly powerful. In the days to come, you will feel this for yourself, that everything you endured, every moment of quiet strength, every ache you carried, none of it was meaningless. None of it was wasted. Every experience has brought you closer to where you truly belong, to a place filled with light, love, and the kind of respect that honors your true self. Through the events that will awaken the talents within you, you will slowly reclaim a sense of pride and healthy self-respect, a quiet confidence born from an authentic understanding of your own worth. And then, you will begin to look toward your future with gentle, loving eyes. This reading paints a clear vision of a future in which you cherish the path you're walking, in which you fall in love with your own life, a future where you no longer question your worth. Though this journey may take time, what I feel with absolute clarity is this: you will be rewarded fully and rightfully. Because you have lived with sincerity, loved with your whole heart, and stayed true to your pure and sensitive nature. You are someone of deep refinement. This was evident from the very first cards, so perhaps you don't often let anger take over. But I also understand that in moments of vulnerability, you may have briefly wished for retaliation or hoped that someone would one day have to face the consequences of what they did to you. But you know what? As I've shared before, you don't need to do anything at all, because the universe is already moving in its own divine rhythm. Those who hurt you, those who dismissed or disregarded the love you gave, they will, in time, have to face their awakening. It is inevitable. No one can prevent it from happening because it is the law of the universe. And during that time, you, the one who once carried a wounded soul, will begin to heal. That healing is already happening, one step at a time, and you are on the right path. The Empress card has appeared, a powerful sign that you carry within you a very special energy, a maturity born from pain, shaped by experience. Now, you're not only stronger, but you also have the ability to offer a sense of safety to others. You can light up the hearts of those around you with your gentleness, with the compassion and wisdom that have been forged through the passing of time. You hold within you the ability to heal others, naturally, effortlessly, simply through your sincere presence. So when we look back on the journey you've taken, it becomes clear, you did nothing wrong. Nothing was in vain. Everything has held meaning. And now, you are walking a path that will lead you to truly love your future, to see that your life is something to be treasured. Even if the journey has taken a long time, even if you've had to endure and be patient through so much, your reward is certain. Happiness is approaching, a complete and wholehearted happiness built upon everything you once had to sacrifice. Both the truths you've already realized and the ones you've yet to put into words, everything will play a part in leading you toward a more fulfilling life. There will be moments ahead where you will feel proud of who you are, where you will recognize the honor and dignity that have always been yours. Your spirit guides, who have watched over you all this time, want you to know they will continue to be there. When you are finally rewarded, when the light arrives, they will witness that moment with you. Because all that you have given, your kindness, your patience, your endurance, your love, and your tenderness, are now preparing to return home to you. As I mentioned earlier, if those who once hurt you are no longer meant to return what you gave them, then the universe will choose another way, one even more beautiful, more complete, to compensate you. Any harm they caused you has only served to strengthen the flow of abundance and blessings heading your way. This is the law of transformation and divine recompense. The parts of your soul that were once worn down, drained, will now begin to be renewed. And the deep, quiet strength that has been rooting itself within you over time is now beginning to rise. You truly carry that energy, an energy cultivated from your past wounds. And from this point forward, an environment where you are naturally valued will begin to form around you. Everything will begin to align to ensure that you are loved and recognized in the way you so fully deserve. Welcome the future with an open heart, because the good things you've been waiting for are already drawing near. I will end the reading for Pile 1 here. If you enjoyed this message, don't forget to subscribe and support the channel by liking the video. Your encouragement is a powerful motivation that helps me continue bringing more meaningful content. If something in this reading resonated with your heart, I invite you to leave a comment or even just a small symbol, just so I know the message reached you. I always look forward to reading your thoughts, so don't hesitate to share them. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video. I'll see you again in the next reading.
Hello to those who chose pile 2.
Thank you for waiting. Now, I'll begin the reading for those of you who selected the second pile. I hope this reading brings you healing, new insights, and moments filled with love. Today, the message from your divine protectors revolves around human connections, specifically, the relationships surrounding you. What stood out during your card shuffle was the unusual frequency of jumpers. The cards kept flying out repeatedly. And right at this very moment, as I begin your reading, I can feel so clearly that your protectors are trying to deliver an intense message, something they deeply, deeply want you to recognize. The energy is pouring in with great force, as if this message is something they've been waiting a very long time to finally express to you. So before we dive into the interpretation of each card, there's something I need to share, because it's coming through with clarity and urgency. A message is being delivered with a tone that's rather distinctive, somewhat unusual, as if saying, "Now, let's be clear, who is truly worthy?" That's how they're putting it, with a directness that feels like it's coming from an ancestor or a very powerful guiding spirit standing right beside you. This isn't just a form of protection. The energy they're sending me feels as though they are you, as though you and this spirit are completely intertwined, bonded in such deep harmony that their heart beats in rhythm with yours. And the message they're trying to convey is this. Let's make it clear. What is the goal? Who is truly deserving? Let today be the moment we define that. They're trying to communicate many things, but every message converges into one core truth. You are the one who is worthy. You are the one who has truly triumphed here, and they deeply want you to recognize that, to accept it, and to receive it with your whole heart. I still cannot fully explain everything, but the very first thing this energy brings forward is this. You are the one who has won, and they're yearning for you to believe in that truth. Perhaps you've been carrying many doubts and questions in your heart about past relationships, and even those in your present. It feels like you've asked yourself countless times, why am I so misunderstood? Why can't others see the sincerity in my heart? Why are the things I offer from a place of genuine love and care not received the way they're meant to be? You may have often found yourself feeling alone, torn apart within relationships that you once believed would be your safest space. It seems that there were times you acted from a good place with the intention of bringing something positive, and yet, what you received in return were harsh criticisms, intense reactions. That pain of being misunderstood, of being seen as the villain in someone else's story, wounded you deeply. All the while, your heart only wanted to do what was right. For you, it was a shock, a moment of, why did it turn out like this? Why was my intention so misread? Because you never meant harm. You are not a calculating or cruel person. And yet, things were distorted, misinterpreted, and that distortion brought a heavy pain into your spirit. What I truly admire about you is this. Even in the face of such situations, despite the injustice, the pain, the silent anguish, you didn't choose to lash out or fight back with loud protests. Or perhaps you did want to speak up, but something held you back. Maybe the circumstances didn't allow it, or perhaps you simply couldn't. But regardless of the reason, even while carrying your wounds, you never abandoned your responsibilities. The things you had to do each day, your role in work, in your family, in life, you didn't walk away from them. You remained diligent, composed, and continued moving forward, even when your heart was bleeding inside. I can feel that so clearly, that you're someone with a deep sense of responsibility, someone with depth and quiet strength, who has endured those pains in silence with a resilience that is deeply worthy of respect. Perhaps some of you have felt that you had to live for duty, for loyalty, or simply because of your circumstances. Your environment may have forced you to constantly be cautious, to always restrain yourself, never fully able to live in alignment with your true feelings. There may have been times when you had to set your heart aside, almost like you had to forget your own emotions, just to carry on with the things that had to be done. As if you had to separate everything into parts. Emotions belong to one side, and duty must still be fulfilled, no matter what. I can deeply feel how much effort you've put into holding everything together. And what's truly striking is that the energy from the current cards reflects something remarkably similar. In the midst of all that pressure, you chose to balance your emotions and reality by holding in your inner world, doing everything you could not to be swept away by negative emotions. Maybe you tried to imagine better scenarios, tried to soothe yourself with quiet reassurances, or simply made your heart's voice smaller, just so life could go on as smoothly as possible. That's why I sense that perhaps there were times you had to force a smile, even when there was no joy inside. You may have done your best to live in a way that created no disturbance, caused no trouble for others, and you just kept pressing everything down, hiding it all within. Perhaps you thought to yourself, there's no other way, I just have to do this. Even with your heart full of unspoken pain, you kept moving forward with perseverance and integrity. And it's precisely that seriousness, that quiet dedication, and your honesty that make you truly admirable. I believe that for many of you, this is a form of healthy pride, a justified sense of dignity. Because from the very first card, the message has been clear. You did nothing wrong. Truly, you did nothing wrong. And perhaps it's because you held on to that belief, that you were not at fault, that you didn't deserve to be misunderstood, that you found the strength to keep going, to stay rooted in yourself, and to remain unshaken. You have given your all with the finest qualities within you, and that, in itself, is something truly worthy of honor. I can feel your inner strength so clearly, a quiet, resilient power that lives at the core of who you are. But alongside that strength, there also exists a profound sensitivity, a heart that feels deeply and is easily wounded. Perhaps you've been exhausted, drained by your efforts to keep everything stable. Yet what lingers the most, more than the fatigue, is the sorrow of being misunderstood. That feeling runs deep, like a silent wave that never breaks the surface, yet saturates everything underneath, leaving a lasting imprint on your heart. I can truly feel that within you. And when I drew this card, one that jumped out from the deck, I found myself uncertain whether to read it upright or reversed. Usually I don't hesitate like that, but this time it was difficult to decide. And perhaps that hesitation itself carries meaning, because this card speaks of delay, a sense of being lost, of not wanting or not yet being ready to face something head-on, even if you know deep down that it can be resolved. It's as if there's still something within you that hasn't fully opened to be seen, something not yet ready to be confronted. For some of you, that wound may have originated in childhood, a time when you didn't yet have the power to stand up for yourself or make choices of your own. You knew there was a way, like walking away from that environment, escaping that relationship, but at that moment you couldn't. So you chose not to look. You turned away to protect yourself and used your mind to stabilize your emotions. Even for those of you who are now adults, perhaps even parents, the circumstances may still make you feel like you can't break free from the present. For instance, you may know deep down that if you were to leave, if you were to take your child and walk away from that environment, you would feel relief, a profound sense of freedom. And yet, that option doesn't seem realistic right now, so you've chosen to stay. You shifted your perspective, you accepted sacrifice, and you endured with quiet patience. And so, the fact that this card landed in the space between upright and reversed is meaningful because it sits right on the threshold between delay and transformation. In its reversed position, this card speaks of restarting, shifting, and changing perspective. It suggests that you're beginning to see new possibilities, beginning to open your heart to step out of the old cycles. Perhaps you are now standing at the edge of that very threshold, where you are slowly emerging from the haze of what once was, where the things you used to turn a blind eye to are now being illuminated under a new light. And I believe this change, though slow, is drawing near. Yes, the current energy reveals very clearly that within you lies a powerful blend of strength, sensitivity, and long-held frustration. All of these forces coexist within you at this moment. And what's remarkable is that your divine protectors are sending a message with extraordinary force, clarity, and urgency. I can feel it intensely. They genuinely, deeply want you to receive what I shared earlier, that you are the one who has won. This is something they truly want you to understand, wholeheartedly want you to accept, and deeply want you to believe in. And alongside all of this, there is an even deeper layer of meaning, something that rises from the very core of your inner world. I sense that you are someone who has carried your deepest emotions quietly within, bearing them because of your circumstances, because of your sensitivity, because you didn't want anyone to get hurt. But it wasn't just that, you also tried so hard to understand others. In fact, the love you have given to those around you has been far more profound and genuine than what many of them were ever capable of giving you in return. Because your love was so deep, so wholehearted, the pain of being hurt struck you even harder. You love with your entire being, with devotion and sincerity. But there is something crucial here. I feel that the people around you, including those who have hurt you, are simply not capable of loving as deeply as you do. It's not necessarily malice, it's that the way they measure love is different from yours. They use another scale, a smaller, more fragmented standard, to feel, to express, to respond. While you give from your entire heart, they respond with something narrower, more superficial. And because you loved so sincerely, you tried to understand them, tried to reach into their inner world with all the compassion you could offer. Perhaps deep down, you once believed, one day they'll understand. It was that hope, that effort, that made the loneliness and heartache even more profound when things didn't turn out as you had wished. But please remember this, you were not wrong.
There is nothing flawed about you.
That loneliness wasn't because you were strange or too sensitive or weak. It's because you were loving on a level far deeper than most people are capable of reaching. And that, your depth, your sincerity, is the clearest proof of the beauty within your soul. The truth is, you are the one who loved more seriously, more deeply, and that alone is evidence of a heart that lives with honesty and true care. That is not something to be ashamed of. On the contrary, it is a radiant inner light that you carry. And one more thing, a message your divine protectors are sending with immense force is this: you are not alone. You are not wrong. You are not weak. What happened is that your time of endurance simply lasted too long. Far too long. I can feel it so clearly. There was a chapter in your life where you had to silently endure, restrain yourself, and suppress your true emotions just to carry on. But that time is coming to an end. The cards are revealing that a moment of release, of clarity, of lightness, is drawing near. And that message is coming through with such volume, such intensity, it's as if the universe itself is shouting for you to hear it.
Loud. Clear.
Unmistakable. What's more, even in the Lenormand deck, the cards symbolizing transformation have appeared all at once, signaling a distinct wave of change approaching. This shift is not merely symbolic, it's a powerful indication that your life is about to enter a new chapter. It could manifest as a change in your living environment, such as moving to a new home or transitioning into a new job, but it may also involve deeper shifts in your belief systems, personal rules, long-held habits, and the structures that have long surrounded your way of life. What's remarkable is that you may not even need to take grand action to initiate this change. The shift will happen organically. The external world, your environment, the people around you, your circumstances, will begin to realign, restructure themselves in a way that brings you more ease, more healing, and ultimately more authenticity. It's like a gentle breeze of recovery is drawing near, bringing with it the peace and freedom you've always deserved. This particular card also carries the energy of breath, of wind, and is often referred to as the whisper voice, a soft, inner sound, a quiet murmur from within. Its energy gives the feeling of slowly learning to breathe more freely again. I have a strong sense that within you, or within many of you who chose this pile, there has been shallow breathing, or a body held in quiet tension. As if you've been living in a subtle, continuous state of defense, one you might not have even realized was there. The image on the card depicts a small girl, and the moment I saw it, I could feel that her smile was a strained one. She is picking a type of fruit covered in thorns, as if she's willingly accepting pain, carefully removing each sharp point one by one. I clearly sense that this is a reflection of your inner child, the part of you that has quietly walked with you through every wound, the one who has patiently pulled each thorn from your heart so the pain wouldn't overwhelm you. And what moves me most is this: your inner child has always believed that one day you, the adult version of yourself, would return to heal them. It is because of that belief that they've endured, persevered, collecting each piece of pain and holding onto it gently, as if to say, when that day comes, I'll give all of this to you, so you can finally heal me, and in doing so, heal yourself too. That very inner child, the one who once carried such sorrow, is now opening the space for recovery. The thorns, the jagged pieces that once pierced your heart, are slowly, gently being removed. And because of that, you're beginning to feel an expansion within your soul, a new breath, a quiet softening that rises from deep within. And then, the most beautiful thing begins to unfold, when you start to reunite with yourself. When the child within you, the one who endured so much in silence, is finally embraced and acknowledged by you. When the parts of yourself you once rejected, once labeled as weak, are met instead with love. In that moment, you will begin to truly love yourself, with tenderness, with steadiness, and with sincerity. I feel that from this point forward, a new chapter of your life is beginning. A chapter where you no longer have to shrink yourself for anyone. You are stepping into a time where freedom becomes your natural state, where you can live as your true self without having to bend or mold yourself to fit anyone or anything. Perhaps right now it still feels vague when someone tells you to be yourself. Perhaps you've often wondered who you really are or what it even means to live authentically. But now you'll begin to feel it, not through ideas or definitions, but through lived experience. You are entering a space where freedom is no longer something to chase or prove. It is your birthright. It is yours to feel, to embody, without needing permission from anyone. You'll begin to notice your breath becoming lighter. You'll find yourself taking a deep breath, perhaps for the first time in a long, long while. Then suddenly, there will be fleeting moments that pass through your mind. Ah, I think I'm happy. And those moments will grow, becoming more frequent, more expansive, spreading quietly into every corner of your life. Everything that's unfolding now feels like a blessing sent by the universe to honor your journey. Because you are someone who carries a deep heart, you hold a great capacity for love, and you deserve to be loved, to live in alignment with that love, starting from within yourself. You no longer need to abandon your heart, no longer need to place yourself last for the sake of others. Instead, you'll begin to live fully, with your emotions, your dreams, and the beautiful essence of who you are, which you've kept hidden for so long. You will feel liberated, and with that, a sense of expansion in your vision, in your worldview, in your ability to see beauty in life itself. In the past, you may have relied on escaping reality to stay balanced. But soon you won't need to anymore. Because reality itself, the world you live in, will begin to shift. It will become warm enough, vast enough, and gentle enough for you to live authentically without having to brace yourself anymore. And one more thing. You are someone with a rare ability to feel the pain of others deeply. Because of your profound heart, you've always tried to understand, even those who hurt you. You've placed yourself in their shoes thinking, maybe they're carrying pain too. That's not something everyone can do. Your empathy is unique. It's a quiet kind of understanding, subtle and deeply real. You have a vast heart, and you deserve to live a life where you no longer have to sacrifice the truest parts of yourself. Yes, the card of love has appeared, as if it was always meant to. And your divine protectors are gently but clearly telling you, from this point forward, you are truly beginning your healing, fully, naturally, and wholly. They're saying, now you don't have to brace yourself anymore. You don't have to save anyone. You don't have to love just to be loved in return. You don't have to give more than you have. You don't have to force yourself to break open just to be seen. You don't need to do anything that feels heavy or strained. Because things will begin to shift on their own, truly, gently, without pressure. Right now, the most important thing you can do is not to direct your love outward, but to turn inward and embrace yourself. Prioritize your own well-being. Let your heart be the center of every decision you make. Because the foundation for a better life, it's already been built. Everything is ready now. And you are unquestionably worthy of love. You always have been. You are the one who deserves to be loved, to be received with warmth and sincerity, and from now on, that is what will gradually become your reality. Even more beautiful is this: the emotional energy within you, once a series of compressed waves, is now beginning to transform into a flame of vitality, of passion, of aliveness. As you begin to live in an environment that feels safe enough, peaceful enough, that flame will naturally rise. Not through force, not through the breaking of yourself, but as a gentle unfolding from the depths of your heart. Remember, you absolutely do not need to blame yourself for anything. The time you spent carrying everything on your own, silently enduring, facing it all, it was not meaningless. Those years hold value. They are part of what brought you to this moment, a moment when the light finally begins to seep in. In the days ahead, many changes will come, in your surroundings, in your habits, in the patterns and rules that once held you back. And I want to say this with clarity. The fact that you once immersed yourself in dreams, in thoughts that drifted away from reality, it wasn't because you were weak or careless. It was because you cared deeply, and that made you more vulnerable. You imagined another world not out of laziness, but because you were trying to keep your heart whole in a reality that had been too harsh. And now, that world you once imagined is slowly becoming reality. Yes, you have lived with sincerity and have given your all from the heart throughout this journey. And it is you, not anyone else, who truly deserves to be loved, to be blessed by love itself. That truth will now begin to reveal itself more clearly. The layers of armor that once shielded your heart will start to soften, to gently unravel, not through force, but with ease and grace. You will gradually find yourself in a space where you can act without fear, without the weight of constant caution. A space where being your true self feels safe. The emotions you once couldn't name, the loneliness you carried, the small aches, and even the deeper wounds will be held, will be healed, wrapped in light, in gentleness, and in the love you so fully deserve. And yes, your surroundings will begin to change. A great transformation is approaching. And when it arrives, there will be a moment when you find yourself whispering, "I'm so lucky." Something within you will come to a close, as if a chapter has finally ended, a journey has reached its natural conclusion. And in that moment, you'll be able to look back at yourself and at those around you with clarity, with softness, and with compassion. And then you will understand, just as your ancestors and divine protectors have been trying to tell you from the beginning, it was all for this. You will come to the truth that every pain you once endured was to trade for this richness, the richness of your soul, of peace, of true love. And beyond that, you will see with clarity. Those who once hurt you, they walked away without ever knowing what real love was. They never truly understood what you had offered, and you'll realize that is the real loneliness. And from that perspective, there will be no more blame, no more resentment, only a quiet, gentle release. Because you will have arrived where you truly belong, in a place where you are loved, where you are safe, where you are free to live as yourself, fully and wholly. Everything is drawing near. The shift in your surroundings, your circumstances, it's preparing to unfold. And the memories that once brought you so much pain, that etched themselves deeply into your mind, will now be wrapped in healing light. And in that moment, when you look back, not just at yourself, but at those around you, at your past, you will finally understand. The message your ancestors and protectors have been sending was the answer your heart had been searching for all along. All of it will become a clear resolution, a deep and quiet knowing from within. I'll close the reading for those who chose pile 2 here. If this message resonated with you, please don't forget to click like and subscribe to support the channel. Your encouragement means the world to me and helps me continue sharing meaningful readings with you. If any part of today's message touched your heart, leave a comment or even a small symbol to let me know it reached you. I treasure every connection and look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end. See you in the next reading. Hello, pile 3. Thank you for your patience. Now, I will begin the reading for those of you who chose the 3rd pile. I hope this reading brings you healing, new insights, and moments filled with love. Today, the message comes from your guardian spirit and relates to the relationships in your life. This guardian spirit radiates an incredibly warm energy, like a gentle, luminous light softly reaching out to deliver its message to you. First, they want to say, "My dear, everything is going to be okay." The soul connections that are truly aligned with your spirit, the relationships your heart genuinely longs for, will begin to appear from now on, naturally, without any effort. Therefore, you no longer need to cling to or be bound by relationships that have already ended. If you are currently beside someone who makes your heart weary, as if you have to sacrifice yourself just to keep the connection going, your guardian wants you to know, you no longer need to endure that. Very soon, you will be drawn to people who are truly meant for you, connections that allow you to shine in your authentic essence. You will be guided toward a new environment, a space where you can live honestly, where happiness flows naturally, and where your light shines effortlessly. So you no longer need to suffer, no longer need to force yourself. A happy future is drawing near, and you are steadily moving toward it. So, trust the path you're on. A fulfilling future has already been laid out for you. You can believe in that and walk forward with confidence. These words are truly gentle and full of love. Now, let's take a look at your present and past. It seems you've been facing some challenges in your relationships, and perhaps that is exactly why you were drawn to this reading. If someone has hurt you, the energy here suggests that you've endured a great deal of injustice. And to be honest, it appears this person felt a sense of envy toward you. There seems to be an inferiority complex within them, a shadow they've long tried to hide. The light that radiates from within you, your vibrant energy, may have unintentionally exposed that darkness, making the contrast between you two more apparent. Perhaps that's why they behaved the way they did. But that doesn't mean you were at fault. Not at all. It's simply that your light was too bright, too radiant, and it cast their shadows into full view. You didn't do anything wrong. And yet, You may have heard words that were unfair, dismissive of your worth. Words that made you feel rejected, like your presence didn't matter. From the cards, I can sense that you are a truly wonderful person, and it is precisely because of how beautiful your soul is that your guardian has felt so compelled to draw closer to you. What's remarkable in this reading is that the cards representing pain and suffering only appear in a few places, such as the very first card, or perhaps one more in this section, just 2 cards that clearly reflect sorrow. But that doesn't mean you haven't been in pain. Not at all. Based on the message from your guardian, I am certain you've experienced deep emotional wounds. So, why don't the cards express that pain more overtly? The answer lies within who you are. You are someone deeply emotional, generous, and above all, you have opened your heart with sincerity. It seems you once believed that if you shared yourself, if you were honest and heartfelt, the other person would eventually understand. You longed for empathy. You hoped the bond between you would truly touch one another's hearts. But instead, what you received was pain. And yet, you never fully closed the door to your heart. There is something within you that still longs to forgive. Not because the other person deserves your forgiveness, but because it brings you peace to forgive. In your heart lives a vast kindness, a gentle spirit that brings warmth to those around you, and it is this energy that makes this reading feel so tender and profound. Perhaps that is why the cards do not depict anger or resistance. Instead, they reveal a soul full of compassion, a heart that has been wounded but remains open, still yearning to believe and to love. This is what makes your guardian hold you in even greater affection, and it is also what shows how truly strong you are in the quiet power of your gentleness. Moreover, your gentleness, warmth, sincerity, and integrity, all qualities that should be cherished, became something that frightened the other person. For someone who carries so much darkness within, the light you radiate felt threatening. You are the kind of person who holds pure energy, someone who longs to bring warmth to others, who always wants to help others become better. You even thought to yourself, if I can just carry a part of their pain, that's okay, as long as it makes them feel more at ease. You were willing to be hurt, as long as it meant they could feel a little more love, a little more joy. You wanted to share the burden of sorrow so that happiness could be multiplied. That is the nature of your heart, a heart wide open and filled with love. But to the other person, that very heart became a source of fear. The more they felt your light, the more unsettled they became. Instead of healing, they felt exposed, as if your presence illuminated the very parts of themselves they didn't want to face. They may have begun to doubt you, to question your kindness, even to believe that you were intentionally making them feel inadequate or weak. They couldn't understand your love, and even less could they accept it, because their heart was filled with fear and a sense of unworthiness. It's possible that this person didn't even fully understand what they were feeling, just a vague anxiety, an unnamed insecurity that arose in your presence. Perhaps when they stood in your light, they simply lost all sense of confidence. But once again, let this be clear. None of this is your fault. As mentioned before, you do not need to blame yourself. You don't need to think that you should have dimmed your light, that you should have held yourself back in any way. You don't.
This is not about you.
The issue lies with them. Your light merely revealed the wounds they had long buried. That light did nothing wrong. It simply existed. And your presence unintentionally reflected back to them all the things they didn't want to face. That's why things became complicated, but it was never your fault. So there is absolutely no justification for the way you were treated. The words those people once spoke to you, I sincerely hope you can let them go. I understand you may not be able to forget them entirely, but if that's the case, then at least hold on to this truth. Those words, those judgments, do not reflect the true worth of your heart, of your soul. They hold no power to define who you are. Remember that well. The problem lies with them, not with you. This is something I feel with absolute clarity. There's something else I want to share. Something within me felt drawn to pull a few more cards just for you. It's as if the energy of your heart and soul is quietly radiating, yet incredibly powerful. You carry within you a very special kind of light, a pure love, a sincere heart, and a rare kindness. And all of that is gently flowing outward from within you. The very first card that appeared in this reading stands as proof of that loving essence. And if you were to live in a more positive environment, surrounded by people who are genuinely kind and loving, then the circle of that love would expand even further. Right now, it seems you are the one sustaining that flame of love, nurturing it from deep within your own soul. But if you place yourself in a space that is more aligned with your energy, a place that can receive and reflect the love you give, then what you offer will no longer be one-sided. At that point, the love you emit will become a magnetic force, drawing in other forms of love, other positive energies that will naturally be drawn to you. And when you begin to receive that love in return, the flame within you will burn even brighter, even stronger. It will continue to grow, to expand, becoming a vibrant, sacred current of love that flows without end. And it is precisely when you step into that cycle of love, where giving and receiving come naturally, that you will grow into an even more radiant version of yourself. You truly have the capacity to thrive in such an environment. A safe space, for instance, where you can express your genuine emotions without hesitation, where you can be your true self without holding back, where you're free to share even the pain of your past, the things that still feel unresolved within you, as the cards have revealed. You need people who are willing to listen and understand, people who can sit with your emotions even when they're difficult to put into words. Moments where you can open up naturally, without being forced, without needing to search for the right way to say it, yet still feel seen, heard, and held. That is the kind of space that is meant for you. Now it all makes sense. That's why your guardian spirit emphasized this from the very beginning, that you will be guided towards soul-aligned connections. Every card drawn has been pointing to that truth, connections of the soul, connections of destiny. The cards of union are emerging one by one, each revealing that a new and meaningful bond is preparing to enter your life. And it just came to me, I recall there was a reading not long ago with a message quite similar to this one. I don't remember the exact title, but the essence was strikingly close to what is unfolding here. A new connection is about to enter your life, one that is truly aligned with your soul. This connection is unlike anyone you've known before. It will be entirely new, someone with whom you have no prior ties, yet who brings a strange and profound sense of familiarity. The House card, symbolizing peace and inner calm. The Tree, representing deep inner healing and rooted stability, and the Letter, symbolizing gentle, flowing, healing communication, all appeared together. From these cards, I see that you are about to enter into a connection that offers a sense of safety, one that heals the deepest wounds in your soul and allows you to express yourself with ease and honesty, without having to hide or endure in silence. This is exactly what your guardian spirit is gently whispering to you. What you've just heard, what once seemed distant, is now quietly approaching. That encounter, and the transformation it brings, is on its way to you, softly, yet surely. Perhaps it is because the key card appeared that everything will come to you slowly, gently. But that is truly a beautiful thing, because what arrives gradually often carries deeper meaning and lasting value. These new connections will begin to heal you, little by little. However, this doesn't mean the wounds of the past will vanish completely. Some of them may remain, like echoes of memories that time cannot erase. But your guardian wants you to know, those wounds do not diminish your worth. On the contrary, they are evidence of the depth of love you carry within. Because you have known pain, because you have been wounded, you are able to recognize the pain in others. You can see the silent tears that go unspoken. And it is this empathy that makes you a place others can return to, a source of healing, of gratitude, of warmth and light for souls seeking peace. And in return, you will also receive love. The gratitude others send your way will become the very substance that nourishes your own heart, creating a stream of beautiful emotions that continues to expand, to grow stronger with time. So you do not need to remain beside someone who requires you to sacrifice yourself, someone who asks you to trade your peace, just to hold on to a relationship. You deserve to be with someone who amplifies your joy, who multiplies your love, someone who is your true connection, your rightful place in this world. That person, the one who is truly aligned with your light, is surely waiting to be united with you. This is the heartfelt message your guardian is earnestly trying to convey. The people who once hurt you, they did so not because you were too powerful like a blinding sun, but because the light within you is too gentle, too kind. It's a light that never overpowers or forces itself upon anyone, but one that softly envelopes, like the warmth of dawn, like a tender radiance that finds its way into the quietest corners of the heart. The light within you bears a striking resemblance to the energy of your guardian, not loud, not boastful, but nurturing, guiding, patient, and full of love. It is a beautiful kind of love, a love that doesn't need to be spoken, yet can be deeply felt by anyone simply through your presence. Now I'm turning to the energy of the person who once hurt you, and I can clearly sense that this is someone deeply rooted in practicality. More precisely, they are someone with a strong materialistic mindset. They live and make decisions based on tangible values, constantly chasing things that can be measured, seen, and held. That's why they couldn't possibly comprehend the wealth you carry within, a richness that doesn't come from possessions, but from your heart, from your inner world, from your capacity to love. And the cards are speaking this truth loud and clear. Genuine safety, true peace, can never be found through material means. Never. Values such as love, soulful abundance, and meaningful human connection, those are the things that nothing material can ever replace. These are the truths that transcend anything wealth can offer. So if the question is, who will be the one to create a truly abundant future, the answer is already clear. It's you. And that future, a future filled with true fulfillment, wholeness, and genuine happiness, is beginning to take shape in your life. You will witness it unfold through your own lived experience. Usually, when I do readings about relationships, even in cases where the other person has caused pain, the cards often reveal that they will eventually come to a point of facing their own sorrow, encountering moments of regret, or being guided toward a turning point where they're meant to grow and overcome their own lessons. But in this case, with the person who hurt you, that energy is entirely absent. There are no signs indicating they will reflect, awaken, or change. Instead, I see an image of them continuing to live within the cycle of material pursuit, clinging to surface-level values, working endlessly, holding tightly to illusions of wealth. It's a form of attachment, a kind of fixation without resolution. And in doing so, they gradually drift further away from what truly matters, while you, with your loving heart and gentle light, are slowly moving toward a world where love and inner abundance are not only present, but a natural part of each day. And so, at this moment, there is no indication that this person will take a step back to reflect or change. They show no inclination toward remorse or self-improvement. For them, material wealth isn't just about money. It also includes attractiveness to others, professional status, reputation, or the attention they receive. All of these things, in their eyes, are values worth holding on to. But the truth is, you are the one who is truly one. Because you are someone who knows how to love, who understands the depth of love. That is a richness of the heart, an invisible treasure that no material possession could ever compare to. And someone who carries real love within, even if they are walking through pain, even if they are surrounded by sorrow, still radiates a unique kind of beauty. It is the abundance of your soul that gives your face a gentle, luminous glow, a light that shines from within. Even if the other person cannot comprehend what real love is, they can still sense something that leaves them feeling defeated, a silent realization that they are being overshadowed by something they cannot grasp, something they cannot possess. They may not fully understand it, but they know, deep down, they know there is something within you that they can never reach. And that is why they feel unsettled, overshadowed, as if they're losing, even while holding on to everything they believe to be valuable. So no matter what makeup you wear, no matter how dazzling your outfit may be, nothing can surpass the power of a smile that comes from the heart. Nothing is more beautiful than the radiance born from genuine peace and true happiness. The one who truly wins, the one who holds real beauty, real wealth, and real joy is you. And the connections that are aligned with your soul, the bonds your heart truly deserves, are drawing near. You were not born to live in pain, to carry wounds that never heal. You were not born to silently endure. You were born to be loved, to live fully in relationships that match the light you carry. The final card reveals this. Someone, or perhaps more than one person, will enter your life. They will stand by your side, and in time, you will have the chance to choose. Whose hand will you hold? With whom will you continue the journey of your life? And the answer will not be the one who once hurt you. It will be the one who is truly right for you, the one who brings your heart peace, who makes you feel safe, the one with whom you can be entirely yourself and be loved the way you deserve. You will be connected to a warm environment, a truly healing space where you can live fully in your own light. Because the environment you were once in did not allow your light to shine freely. In fact, when your light began to radiate outward, it often illuminated unresolved issues within others, and instead of turning inward to face themselves, they projected that discomfort onto you. It may have been a place where you were hurt not because you were wrong, but because you were too bright, too good. Of course, it's also possible that you are currently in a peaceful environment. Yet, even so, the wounds of the past might still make you hesitant to move forward, still make you wary of the changes ahead. And if you're feeling that way, Your guardian wants you to know, from now on, in a very natural way, you will begin to meet and connect with people who feel familiar, even if you've never met them before. These are the ones who will bring you a sense of warmth, comfort, and safety, as if you've known them for a very long time. You may meet someone for the first time, and yet feel as though you are reuniting. That sense of familiarity doesn't come from memory, but from the resonance of your soul. Because these are the people your soul has long been searching for. Those who understand you without needing lengthy explanations. Those whose very presence brings peace to your heart. The message is clear. This is not a coincidence. It is a response to the silent call from deep within your soul, a soul that has always yearned for understanding, for harmony, and for true love. Even if there were moments when you doubted yourself, when you felt lost and unsure of which path to take, the truth is that you have always been on the right path. Step by step, you are moving closer to the world your heart has longed for. A future like that, a place where you truly belong, is waiting for you just ahead. And you, right now, are walking toward that future. Ahead lies the place where you truly belong, the place where your heart and soul can fully rest and be at peace. From the very beginning, the message has consistently emphasized the richness of your inner world. And now, the cards reveal something more. When your heart becomes whole, when you truly live in inner fulfillment, that energy will gradually transform into tangible strength in the material world. And from there, you will begin to attract tangible opportunities, such as work that aligns with your soul, relationships built on lasting growth, and meaningful connections in both your personal and professional life. Everything will move beyond just inner healing. It will ripple outward into expanding circles of positive energy, opening up new paths, new bonds, and new doors. This means that from this point forward, things will only get better. You are a being of light, a soul that carries healing and radiance within.
Continue to be that light.
Continue living in alignment with who you truly are. I'll bring this reading for Group 3 to a close here. If what I've shared has offered you insight or even just a moment of resonance, don't forget to subscribe and hit like to support the channel. Thank you so much for staying with me all the way to the end of this video. Wishing you a peaceful and lucky day. See you again in the next reading.